You know, you actually have a superpower that you use every single day, probably without even thinking about it. And it has nothing to do with the words you choose, but everything to do with the music you make when you speak.
Okay, I'm just going to say one word. I want you to listen closely to how I say it. First, really? Okay, now listen again. Really? And one more time. Really? See? One single word, spelled the exact same way, but you understood three totally different things, didn't you? The first one was surprise, the second was annoyance, and that last one was, well, dripping with sarcasm. So, how is that possible?
Well, the secret ingredient, the magic behind it all, is something called intonation. You can think of it as the invisible ink in our conversations. It's what adds all these rich layers of meaning that the words by themselves just can't carry.
I love this way of thinking about it. If your words are the lyrics to a song, then your intonation, well, that's the melody. It's the rhythm, the pitch, that rise and fall of your voice that tells the real story. It's what makes talking to someone so much more powerful than just reading a text message.
Okay, so you might be thinking this music is totally random, right? That we just kind of make it up as we go. But it's not. There are actually some very predictable patterns, especially when it comes to the way we ask questions. Let's dive into the basic rules of the road.
All right, so here are the two fundamental patterns you'll hear all the time in English. For questions you can answer with a simple yes or no, our pitch naturally goes up at the end. Listen, do you like coffee? You hear that little lift? But for questions that start with words like who, what, where, when, our pitch tends to fall. Where is the coffee? It's subtle, but it's a super consistent rule.
But here's the thing. Knowing those rules, that's just the tutorial level. The real magic, the true power of intonation happens when we start talking about our feelings.
This is where it gets really fun. This is where we move beyond just asking for information and start to truly express ourselves. We use intonation to paint this rich, emotional picture for whoever's listening. So how do we actually pull that off?
Well, it all comes down to adjusting three simple dials: the pitch of our voice, how high or low it is, the speed, how fast or slow we talk, and the volume, how loud or soft we are. By just tweaking these three things, we can express a whole universe of emotions without changing a single word. Let's look at this with a simple phrase: I didn't know. If you're surprised, your pitch shoots up, and you say it faster. I didn't know. If you're angry, maybe you get louder, and your pitch drops sharply. I didn't know. If you're confused, you might slow way down and let the pitch rise at the very end, almost like it's a question. I didn't know. And of course, if you're just exhausted, everything gets flatter, low pitch, slow speed, and low volume.
Okay, your turn. Let's get you to play around with these vocal dials. We're going to stick with that same phrase. You ready?
All right, first up, I want you to say I didn't know, like you just found out something completely mind-blowing. Go ahead, say it out loud.
Awesome. Now let's do a complete 180. Imagine someone just blamed you for something you had absolutely no clue about. You're feeling defensive, you're annoyed. How do you say, I didn't know, now? Give it a shot. It's a totally different piece of music, isn't it? Even with the exact same lyrics.
And this is why all of this is so important. This isn't just a cool party trick. Being aware of your intonation and the intonation of others is a fundamental part of being a better, more empathetic communicator. It really is your superpower. In fact, get this. Some communication studies have suggested that over 90%, 90%, of the emotional meaning we communicate comes not from our words, but from how we say them. It's our tone, our body language, and you guessed it, our intonation.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, understanding this makes you a better speaker, for sure. You can make sure your tone actually matches your message. But I think what's even more powerful is that it makes you a much, much better listener. You start to hear what people are feeling, not just what they're saying.
If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this idea right here. Your words are just the individual notes on a page. It's your intonation that arranges them into a piece of music that can be beautiful or sad or exciting. So, the next time you're in a conversation, try to pay a little extra attention. Listen past the words and tune into the music behind them. And then ask yourself, what song is your voice singing today? What are you really saying?